know what I did? I kept walking. Every day I would continue to do those two, because once you build that 75 days, it's a habit, like whatever. It's Sunday, figured I'd walk at a little bit of a different pace today, but want to give you the background on why I started taking walking seriously. Now, it's right at 6 years ago, 2020, January 2020, had a lot going on. At that time, my kidney function was down to about, I don't know, maybe 20%. And so I had been diagnosed with kidney disease in 2017. And I needed, obviously they told me I had a couple years before I needed a transplant, a couple years before I was gonna have to be on dialysis. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to have to go on dialysis for sure. And so after a couple years, I took on a challenge. And so I started the 75 Hard Challenge in January of 2020. Now, I was like, I can't control the speed at which my disease progresses. Can't do anything about that, but what I can do is what I can do. And in the meantime, I can build mental fortitude. I can just do the best I can do based on my controllables. So I did the 75 Hard Challenge. If you know what the 75 Hard Challenge is, it is you drink a gallon of water a day. You do 2 45-minute workouts. One of those workouts has to be outside. You read 10 pages of a nonfiction book, and you take a picture of yourself every day. You also have to stick to a diet with no cheat days for 75 days. If you don't do it one day, you must start over. So if you're on day 42, you forget to take the picture, you got to start over to day one. You're on day 74, you forget, couldn't drink all your water, you got to start over. And so I took on this challenge in a weakened condition, listening to the creator, Andy Frisella, listening to him rant in my ear every morning. But I get up early in Baltimore, 6:30, 6 a.m. It's cold, it's dark, and I get out, and at least first workout was most likely a walk. And I did all 75 days, made it through the 75 Hard Challenge, lost quite a bit of weight because my diet at that time was intermittent fasting and vegan. So I became a vegan for that 75 days. So I lost a bunch of weight, did the deal, kept it pushing. But of course, within days of finishing and completing the 75 Hard Challenge, the pandemic happened. And so Baltimore was very stringent on their rules. And so we ended up being shut down for a while. And so here I am as a pastor, church planner, locked down, can't have church service, whatever. So you know what I did? I kept walking. Every day I would continue to do those two, because once you build that 75 days, it's a habit, like whatever. So I just kept walking, dog. And it was great. And then I created a challenge called a Pray 100 challenge, because we couldn't meet, we couldn't do a lot of stuff. Every day I would get up. You can go back to my old videos. It's a lot of those in the Walk With Me playlist on those mornings while I'm doing the Pray 100 challenge. And the Pray 100 challenge is simple. The Pray 100 challenge is, my neighborhood was 3 miles. The walk I would do was 3 miles. And so if I did 3 miles a day for however many days, in a month, then I would get to, then I would get to do 100 miles within that month, right? So I did that. And then, so that was that. So that was the Pray 100 challenge. People from all over the country joined me in that hashtag Pray 100, learning how to prayer walk, but also giving people words of encouragement so you can go back and see some of those old videos of me out there walking. But I learned several things in this journey of walking. It's easy, it's simple, but I realized a lot of people don't do it. And I tried to get a lot of my friends, peers, to join me in the 75 Hard Challenge. It's not easy to do it. It's not easy. Most of them would quit within the first 5 days or so, whatever. And a lot of it was because they were overly ambitious. You know, you want to do some intense workouts. You want to do all this kind of stuff. And I had limitations. I couldn't do that. And so what I was forced to do was what I was able to do, which became the most sustainable for me and the most impactful. So here are the lessons I've learned from walking. And I want to encourage you. This is a new year for you. You're dealing with something. You're going through a season of life that's difficult. I'm going to challenge you, or encourage you, I should say, consider taking up walking. The first is, walking is easy, okay? Just get out, do it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and just walk, okay? There's something simple, clean about it. You know how to do it. Just that movement will help you, okay? Help you to feel better, help you to see things differently, help you to just, get out of, and maybe you're in a sedentary lifestyle and you're not moving a lot and, you sitting, watching, scrolling, so on and so forth. Man, just get out, walk. I had to walk across 95. I had to walk. So I started switching it up and walking through neighborhoods, through school parking lots, through everything. But man, just getting up and moving made me feel so much better. Second thing I would say is walking can become a spiritual practice, okay? Walking become a spiritual practice. When I'm reading the scriptures, I noticed something. First off, Jesus, when he calls his disciples, said, come follow me. And they just walked together for 3 years. That's partly why this playlist is called Walk With Me. Because in the everyday rhythms of life, they would just walk around, walk and talk, walk and talk. We're making progress one step at a time. And so that's a metaphor for our spiritual journey with Jesus. Jesus calls us to walk with him. And that means I've got to slow down my pace. That means I get to see things differently. When you're driving, you don't see all the details, the nuances, the unique characteristics of things. And you don't see that certainly in the exterior, but that gets revealed in the interior when I'm walking, okay? And then lastly, here's what I would say, is it will change you, okay? It will change you. It'll change your body. It'll change your dynamics. I lost a ton of weight. Now I added weight vests and all that kind of stuff. But man, your cardiovascular system will get better. You'll start to think more clearly. You'll have more ideas. You'll run into neighbors and things like that. So it'll literally change you, who you are, just developing the habit of walking on a regular basis. So now, trying to get back to that rhythm where I'm walking every single day for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. And it's been great. It's helped me to reconnect with my surroundings, helped me to lose a couple pounds already, but it also helps me to connect with y'all. And so that was the purpose of me starting this new challenge, was to say, hey, I want to reconnect with people, give them some words of encouragement, and hopefully you walk with me.